Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Antorus raid boss guides. Now up next we have Aggramar. Now for the tanks, they are always going to have to stack up because Aggramar will cleave the closest target to the active tank, and the tanks will have to taunt off after 8 stacks of their debuff. Now at 100 energy, this boss will do something special. He will cast one Foe Breaker, one Flame Rend, and then repeat the process and cast a Foe Breaker and a Flame Rend again. Now what needs to be done at 100 energy is that one tank needs to solo Foe Breaker, the other tank needs to actually run away from the front of Aggramar, and then that same tank that took Foe Breaker needs to turn Aggramar around, stack up with the rest of the raid, and split the damage of Flame Rend, and then the other tank that did not take a Foe Breaker needs to taunt off, face Aggramar away from the group, solo Foe Breaker again, and then turn back around and split the second Flame Rend with the raid group. Now Foe Breaker is a hard hitting ability, so as a tank, if you can do something to block it or up your armor, that would be great, so use a cooldown in order to survive Foe Breaker. Now for phase 1, which is from 100 HP down to 80% HP, DPS and healers need to stay on Aggramar's back and spread out at least 4 yards. This is because at random, people will get a debuff that causes them to pulse for a 4-yard AoE fire damage. The only other thing that happens in phase 1 is Flame Rend, which is 3 waves of fire that come out behind Aggramar and actually go out in a line, which you have to avoid getting hit by. At 80%, we will reach intermission number 1, which means that Aggramar will bubble and spawn 8 small adds and 2 big adds. The big adds need to be tanked right where they spawn, and in normal mode, you have to CC and nuke down the small adds as quickly as possible. You do not want any of these adds to reach Aggramar. And in heroic mode, you actually have to CC 7 out of 8 of these adds. And what you need to do in heroic mode is let one of these adds reach Aggramar at a given time. It'll then give you a debuff that actually causes a lot of damage, and after that debuff goes away, you need to pop another one of your CCs and let it reach Aggramar again. You have 3 minutes to get through all 8 adds and pop them one by one, or else after those 3 minutes, the adds will actually explode, providing that debuff. If you get 2 of these debuffs at the same time, you are going to have to pop a big healing cooldown, but there are probably going to be some people that go down to 2 debuffs at the same time. Anything more than 2 and it's a guaranteed wipe. So for heroic mode, if you CC the small adds where they stand, the travel time between that and Aggramar right in the middle is about 9 or 10 seconds, so depending on what time is left on your debuff, you can actually break one of those CCs a little bit early to account for the travel time to get to Aggramar. Just make sure that you know what CC is on what small add and in what order you are going to be breaking it in. This is also the most difficult part of this encounter. For phase 2, which is between 80 and 40% HP, Aggramar just gets one new ability, in which he will spawn giant pools of fire underneath random people in the raid. So once you see this, make sure you run out of it. Everything else remains the same. At 100 energy, he will cast Foe Breaker and Flame Rend, and you can still get the pulsing debuff, so remain spread out. Once you reach 40%, you will have intermission number 2, which is exactly like intermission number 1, except you have more fire dropping on the ground, so make sure you avoid that. And again, the big part of these intermissions is learning how to handle these small adds. In normal mode, it's a matter of nuking them, and in heroic mode, it's letting one get to the boss at a time. Now for phase 3, his flares now also shoot out the waves of fire as well. So you can see here that when the flare goes out, there's actually more waves of fire going out. So make sure you are completely on your dodging game when this is happening, since they do a lot of ticking damage. This is also where your lust phase is, so as soon as you reach phase 3 and Aggramar is able to be attacked, make sure you pop lust and nuke him down as quickly as possible. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good luck out there.